Remember, this is an energy reading. It is all alleged, my opinion, not facts, my opinion.
And the album's artist of the year is...
Go on, Mark, crack it open. There we go. Go on.
Britney Spears!
Woo! I'm so happy. Excuse my little paper. I just don't want to forget anybody. First, I want to say this year has been like a dream come true for me, and I really want to thank God, first and foremost, for just allowing me to experience this surreal dream. And I hope I never wake up.
The inexplicable new pictures.
For those of you who don't think I post my own videos, I did this video yesterday. So you're wrong, but I hope you like it.
And the People's Choice for Favorite Pop Artist goes to...
It's Britney Spears! This is so cool. This is awesome. I was not expecting this, and it's because of all of you that I'm able to do what I love to do.
As concerns continue to grow for Britney Spears' safety, reports are starting to circulate that Kanye West tried to warn Britney about her husband, Sam Asghari.
You know the first time I ever took medication, why I was? Because I got mad at paparazzi.
I'm so sorry.
You know what paparazzi was?
No.
The same one that shot Britney.
Oh.
There's something very strange going on with Britney Spears, and fans are worried that Britney's husband Sam is involved in a massive cover-up to keep Britney hostage and prevent her from talking about her conservatorship.
Now, like, how does Britney view her husband right now, where she's at? Warden of Disc, completion, support, expediency. It's weird. It's almost like they have him, like she's in this room very secluded, and they have him like come in like once a day, like so that he's...
Shortly before Britney's conservatorship was terminated in November 2021, Britney gave a statement in court saying that she wants to do an interview and expose everyone who was involved in the conservatorship.
It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you to the judge to approve me, do an interview where I can be heard on what they did to me.
However, it's been almost 2 years since Britney's conservatorship ended, and she still hasn't given a single interview. She also never once went live on social media to talk to her fans, and a handful of times she was seen in public with Sam, she didn't even say anything to the paparazzi. But
Sam, her husband, his name is Sam. Knight of Pentacles, interesting. I look like the white knight. I look like the knight in shining armor. We'll keep the husband close to her so that we know what she's doing. We can keep a close eye on her. We know that she won't say certain things, but then she realizes that this is happening and that he's not there for love. And what happens when she finds that out? We need 2 rows of 4. How does Britney find out that he is a plant? And what happens? 4 of Pentacles, self-protection. 4 of Wands, Hanged Man reverse. She found something, she got a hunch of something and started to look into, like, okay, I'm picking up on some weird stuff here. She waited a while though. She didn't act on it right away. It's like she got a hunch. She was like, I'm gonna keep an eye out for that. High Priestess reversed. She definitely doubted herself. She wanted to believe that he loved her. 7 of Swords, and then she found it. She had a hunch, waited a little while. He convinced her that her hunch was wrong. She was like, okay, it's fine. Got a little further along the path, and then it's like she found something by accident that confirmed what she was thinking earlier, that she had convinced herself that she was wrong about, if that makes sense. 9 of Cups, 7 of Cups, and the Devil. Devil came out underneath of the High Priestess reverse. He had her convinced. I feel like she confronted him and he convinced her that that wasn't accurate. And then she later found something that was like, I thought you said this wasn't true. What's this? And then boom, you're crazy. Your mental health needs help. We're going to take you, put you here, and then plan unfolds as it is now. Because Seven of Cups is coming out underneath of the Hangman reverse. So I wait. I don't act on the information that I feel like I know right away. He convinces me otherwise. I convince myself that he's telling me the truth. Hangman in reverse, Seven of Cups. I wait and I'm not seeing things clearly, and then all of a sudden it clears up because I find something that makes me not be able to doubt it anymore, and I know that I'm right, and I know that he's not on my side. He is scheming, he is strategizing, he has betrayed me. From within our own home, and he convinced me that I was wrong, but I was not. Allegedly, my opinion. No facts here.
That's not all.
Is it true that you fired your new manager?
Conservatorship ends? Yes? Of course you are. Great.
Are you going to stop performing?
One card for if it's Britney, one card for if it's not Britney, one card in the middle for what is the purpose of that. Justice in reverse for Britney. That's not a good way to start this, because justice for Britney would be about being free, being in control of her choices and what she's doing. Justice in reverse is the opposite of that, obviously.
Fans also recently uncovered shocking evidence seemingly proving that someone has been impersonating Britney in her Instagram videos.
But this is a blue-eyed person.
Not Britney. Queen of Pentacles. That's not Britney. Britney, Justice reverse, not Britney, Queen of Pentacles upright. It's whoever is being paid to do this on her behalf, because she does not have justice right now. Allegedly, my opinion. Why? Why is someone pretending to be her? Ten of Wands, a heavy burden. Britney is a burden to those around her. For what reason? The World reversed, Knight of Swords. We have to control her.
With a filter of Britney.
Britney's fans are now worried that Britney is being held hostage somewhere and medicated against her will.
The next card to clarify if Britney is in some kind of mental facility, isolated from others. Page of Wands reverse. Page of Wands upright would be Britney going out in the world, being adventurous, being free, exploring her talents, sharing them with others. In reverse, this is isolation. This is I'm trapped. This is I can't see the way out. This is I don't know who I can trust. And the upright page is like going on some kind of adventure, being out and about. So in reverse, I said to confirm if she's in some kind of mental health facility. I don't even know if I would call it mental health, a mental prison facility. Yes. Allegedly, my opinion, that is not Britney in that video. Someone else is paid to be doing these things and pretending to be her and to be quiet about it. because Britney is a heavy burden to those around her. They're trying to destroy her credibility so she can't speak on something. Justice in reverse. 9 of Swords, she's paranoid. She is struggling with mental health, but she's struggling with mental health because of what others are doing to her. Because others are closing in on her and secluding her. This Knight of Swords is giving me someone sitting outside the door of where she's at so that she can't leave. Like, not just like a nice house or something that someone's taking care of. But this is like, I'm in a room, I'm isolated, I don't have any connection to the outside world. I'm only hearing, seeing, taking in anything that I'm allowed to, that's provided by those who are keeping me here for the sake of my mental health, aka to make it look like I'm so crazy, to ruin my credibility so that if I ever speak on what I know, it won't be believed. But I'm feeling somebody sitting outside of that door that she physically could not leave, even the room that she's in, allegedly, my opinion, without getting through that person that's not going to let her out that door.
And we're also hearing that Kanye West believes that Britney's husband Sam is her handler, who was hired to keep Britney under the control of the same people who put her under conservatorship.
Yeah, it's the same. He's had the same mission the entire time. He was placed in her life for the reason of keeping an eye on her and being that very close spy, and you need to listen to me and follow my direction or whatever.
We all know that Kanye came very close to being placed under conservatorship when he was married to Kim Kardashian. So if someone knows about the evil handlers in Hollywood, it's definitely Kanye. But what exactly did Kanye say about Sam Asghari? Is Sam really holding Britney hostage?
That if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too.
While she's there, we have someone sabotaging her reputation on social media by doing all these, like, making it look like she needs help in these videos, right? And then at a certain point, when she's mentally unhealthy enough, we'll kind of let her out so that people can see and believe that it's her, because it will be the real her once she's let out at some point. But she will have been locked in this place for so long and so unhealthy mentally that it'll make it look like she can never be believed for what she could say.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too.
Britney Spears' conservatorship was terminated almost 2 years ago, but concerns over her safety and well-being have recently escalated on social media after fans discovered shocking proof that the photos and videos on Britney's Instagram are deep fakes.
Like, that's Britney, but it's like that the footage is taken from a different video and put onto that video, and it's not from the same time. Like, that's a how do I put this? It's not like there was a video set and they were like, okay, let's film this now and then put it out. It's like somebody sat down on a computer, took old footage from Britney, actual Britney, or I mean, it could have been someone that was, it was previously filmed footage that they took that out of and put on this background. That's what I'm getting here. Either at the direction of the husband or he's the one who did it. It's almost like, okay, let's have her going to New York. Okay, cool, let's sit down and put this footage together real quick, put it out, say that it's her doing that. That's what I'm getting.
The deep fears, but on top of it, point to their hand in the illegal surveillance of Britney during her conservatorship. Even creepier is that it seems they offer services from everything from video recordings to what? Deep fakes. Deep fakes. Now, seeing everybody break down Britney's Instagram, is it a green screen? Is it a deep fake? Is what actually pulled me into the Free Britney movement to kind of question. So it's just kind of crazy that I'm finding an institution connected to the man that shot the judge that was supposed to investigate Epstein, a human trafficker, and that same institution is involved with Team Khan, who's alleged in the to be at the fault of the labor trafficking of Britney Spears.
A video shared by TikTok user Kat Valez went viral, seemingly showing that a blue-eyed person is using a filter of Britney's face and dancing in front of a green screen.
Somebody's been using a filter to look like her, and I'm about to prove it. So you see her hands go above her face once. Watch when they come back down. It's one frame, but this is a blue-eyed person with a filter of Britney.
King of Pentacles reverse. Interesting, because for the person that we were pretending to be Britney is the Queen of Pentacles. Now the person pretending to be her husband is the King of Pentacles reversed. Not actually someone that you can rely on. Someone that's doing this for money. Someone that's exploiting the situation. Allegedly.
Another user also noticed that in the same video, yellow flowers behind Britney randomly disappear and reappear. And if you pay close attention to the background, it looks very much like a green screen.
Look at the flowers. The yellow flowers in the back right appear and disappear throughout the video. They're gone now. And the edges of her hair, look at it. It's obviously a green screen. The lighting is completely off for outside. There's not a single leaf that blows in the background.
But this video isn't the only footage of Britney that looks fake. In fact, all photos and videos on Britney's official Instagram account are exactly the same. And you don't have to be a Photoshop expert to notice that something is definitely off. So where is the real Britney? Why does she never go live to talk to the fans who helped her to end her conservatorship?
Have her go and get just enough footage so that they have enough to push out to people that makes her look crazy. He's going to swoop in, be the knight in shining armor. He's going to come to where she is or be at where she is. He's going to swoop her away.
Well, Britney's fans are now speculating that the real Britney is being held hostage and that her husband Sam Asghari is her main handler. The biggest red flag in all of this is that Britney sounded very coherent during the conservatorship hearing, and she explicitly said that she wants to do an interview and sue all the people involved in her conservatorship, including her family.
I would honestly like to sue my family, to be totally honest with you. I also would like to be able to share my story with the world and what they did to me, instead of it being a hush-hush secret to benefit all of them. I want to be able to be heard on what they did to me. By making me keep this in for so long is not good for my heart. I've been so angry and I cry every day. It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you, to the judge, to approve me, do an interview where I can be heard on what they did to me. And actually, I have the right to use my voice and take up for myself.
What can we know about the Ten of Wands? What is the heavy burden that she is to others? What do they not want her to talk about? Eight of Cups. She uncovered some kind of truth. She uncovered some big truth. The Lovers reversed. Strength reversed. She realized that her husband was not actually her husband, that's on her side and loves her and married her for the right reasons. She realized that I think I figured it out. Around the time the conservatorship ended, they were planning on letting her go, be free, because he was there to keep a very close eye and watch on her. He as in the husband. But she uncovered the truth that he was a plant, pretty much, to keep her under control while feeling like she's free. She found out, and all of the plans to let her go be free came back. It's almost like, I'm gonna pull 3 cards after I say this to confirm. It's almost like, I get married, everything starts to move forward, yada, yada, yada. I start to pick up something weird. I realize that this man is not marrying me for love. He's marrying me to keep me under control and close. He's hired by someone to be my husband. Then somehow others know that I found out about this, and they tell me, you're crazy, your mental health is going backwards. They gaslight me. You're so crazy, why would you think that? You're paranoid, you need mental help, put me in the facility. That's where I've been since. That's what I'm getting. Why do I feel like that came through so clear? Because she's just sitting there, like, it's like, she's like, oh, someone's trying to figure it out. Let me just tell you what's going on. It's like she's doing nothing. She's just like sitting in a room. It's like purposely deteriorating her mental health so that they can then let her back out and be like, look how unmentally healthy she is. Or look how mentally unhealthy she is. That's what's with the dancing. Hold on.
I have the right to use my voice and take up for myself.
You could clearly hear how desperate Britney was to finally tell her story and expose everyone who made her life a living hell. Britney spent more than 13 years under conservatorship, and she was banned from speaking to anyone without her team's permission. And now that the conservatorship is finally terminated, we're supposed to believe that Britney suddenly doesn't want to be seen or heard? No.
Her intuition led her to her intuition led her to ask certain questions that got her towards answers that she was not supposed to find out. But once she realized there was no going back. So it's not a direct involvement from her in any way. It's people that were around her that she knew things about. And that's when this all started to go downhill.
None of this makes any sense, and honestly, someone needs to investigate Sam Asghari because there's something very suspicious about the way he always talks on Britney's behalf and refuses to interact with her fans. See, we don't even know where Sam came from or what he did before he met Britney. According to the official story, Sam met Britney in 2016 when he was hired to play her love interest in the music video for Slumber Party. They started dating shortly after, and Britney made the romance IG official in January 2017 by sharing this photo. But isn't it strange that Sam was able to start a relationship with Britney while she was still under conservatorship?
Mental health. Yeah. Huh. Royalty in reverse. She's not being treated like royalty. She's not being given her earnings. She's not in control of her decisions and choices. All of her privilege was taken and stripped from her because in the sake of mental health. I really feel strongly that she found out that her husband was hired to keep an eye on her and to keep her under control. She got to the bottom of it, and they had to destroy her reputation and mental health so that that could not come out. Because all of this other stuff going on, conservatorship, all this drama that was surrounding her, it would cause too much of a stir and people would look into it too much if all of a sudden she just mysteriously died. They don't want to have to deal with that. They're trying to make her lead to her own demise by making her crazy, releasing her at some point when she's mentally declined enough that we can release her for like one event or something. She'll go out there, show everybody how unmentally healthy she is, and then we can say, see, told you guys, she needs to be in a mental facility. And then boom, credibility ruined. She can never talk about what she knows, and we have full control. She knows something big.
According to court documents for Britney's 2021 conservatorship dispute, Britney wasn't allowed to make friends or date anyone without her father's permission. In fact, Britney's former security guard revealed that Britney's dad, Jamie, monitored all of Britney's phone calls and messages, and even secretly captured audio recordings from her bedroom. So either Jamie Spears just happened to like this random actor who showed up at Britney's audition, or he specifically hired him to be Britney's handler, because think about it, Jamie and Britney's team would have never allowed Britney to date someone who could potentially expose their evil conservatorship plan.
But all it is one giant betrayal. Everybody that knows her is stabbing her in the back because they're getting something out of it. They're either getting not in trouble for whatever it is that she knows, they're getting connections not dropped from her saying things that she should be keeping to herself, money that's hers, or that they're getting from her something, anything, but they're taking everything that they have from her. And they have her in a position where there's not really anything that she can do about it now or in the future, because her credibility will be ruined by the plan that's in motion. And that is the point of said plan. We can't kill you off. We have to ruin your credibility. And then we have to get the public to agree that you need to be under mental health professional care, because we ruined your mental health and then put you out to make it known that it's ruined so that we could then trap you.
The most likely scenario is that Sam was carefully chosen and hired to keep Britney under control in case the conservatorship ends. See, Sam never publicly talked about the conservatorship before the whole Free Britney movement blew up. And then when it became clear that the conservatorship would be terminated, Sam suddenly started speaking out against Jamie Spears. However, you could tell he didn't mean a word of it.
Hey, I saw your Instagram story. I know you're upset with Jamie right now. Is there anything that he can do to repair the relationship? What would you like to be seen?
I'm not upset at anybody, but you know what? It is what I said is what I said. So I think he's a dick. That's just my opinion, but I'm not gonna go into details. That's it, man.
Can you guys ever be on good terms?
I hope so. Once he starts treating his daughter right, then we can be on good terms.
Besides that,
nobody can prepare you for anything like what I've been through. You know, I mean, nobody. But to me, I had a job to do, and that was my kids.
For Kevin Federline, there's no greater joy than being a dad to his 6 children, but it hasn't always been straightforward. You see, he shares the upbringing of 2 of his kids, sons Sean Preston and Jaden, with their mother, his ex-wife, Britney Spears. K-Fed, as he used to be known, wants to talk to the world. And a few weeks ago, he invited celebrity interviewer Daphne Barak into his home. He said it was time to explain how he and the boys have fared through the ups and downs of Britney's turbulent life.
Keeping my boys safe and making sure that they have a relationship with their mother and the rest of the family, that's what my role has specifically been in, you know, for me, for myself. Like, I can wake up every day and live with myself knowing that that is what I've been trying to do for the last 15 years.
These days, Sean Preston is 16, Jaden is 15. And Kevin Federline's life is a long way from the circus it was when he first met and fell in love with Britney. Sadly, her breakdown played out in front of the world.
I was mortified for her. I really was, for a long time. Way past the time that people were watching. It's been years. I still feel bad for her. You know, I mean, it's hard. It's
had barricaded herself inside the room at one point.
She was rushed to the hospital overnight.
She was wheeled out, brought here to Cedar Sinai Hospital last distressed.
In 2008, Britney's father, Jamie Spears, stepped in to take drastic action, placing her under a conservatorship. The strict legal order meant he controlled everything, her money, who she talked to, and even what she ate.
Weird. They're going to say your mental health needs to be cared for in a more intense way. So the husband's going to swoop in, give her some 10-star mental health care in some fancy resort, but it's really going to be on the inside a prison. But it's going to be a prison that the outside is going to be like, okay, good, I'm glad we're doing this for her because she needs the help, because look at this video footage that we have of her at these events. It's obviously the real Britney, so she must be the real Britney, right? Because it's going to be her, but it's going to be her in a manipulated form because they're preparing for this to happen so that they can ruin her credibility. Allegedly, my opinion.
Besides that, Sam was caught lying about his past on more than one occasion, and there's very little information available about his employment history. According to one source, Sam's first public record of employment dates back to 2013, when he worked as a Best Buy clerk before becoming a personal trainer. Also, Sam told Men's Health in 2018 he played football on a scholarship at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. However, sports reporter Aaron Sorensen later discovered there was no record of Sam ever playing football on a scholarship. In fact, Sorensen claimed that she talked to multiple players who were active at the time, and every Nebraska player she talked to had no memory of Sam working out or trying out.
It's a plan, it's a setup, it's to ruin her credibility, and he plays a very big role.
So when you take all of this into account, Sam sounds like the perfect candidate to be a celebrity handler. And now, on top of all this, we're also hearing from sources close to Kanye West that Kanye is convinced Sam was hired to keep Britney medicated, just like his former personal trainer Harley Pasternak was reportedly hired to institutionalize him. You all probably remember how Kanye suffered a scary episode back in 2016 and was put on a psychiatric hold.
I'm actually one of his doctors. I'm just calling for my cell phone to request if we can have some police backup, because I don't think the paramedics, you can bring both. Yeah, because I think he definitely is going to need to be hospitalized, so I wouldn't just do the police by itself. Weapons involved or in the area? No other weapons. No.
Another recommendation at the end of the conservatorship, keep knives away from Britney.
There are elements where she is doing okay, but there are a lot of elements where it is troublesome.
Right. These are, look, obviously everyone sees the Instagram posts, the ones that are troubling to some people, and to others just seem like Britney freely living her life. But what we are digging into is what's happening when the camera isn't on and she isn't doing her dancing. What is her life really like? And we've spoken to a lot of people.
People who really know what's going on. There aren't a lot of them, but there are some. And look, this is an honest portrayal of what's going on, and some of it is scary. I will say some of it is scary. And it really starts at the end of the conservatorship when people who were responsible for caring for Britney made some recommendations. And one of the recommendations is alarming.
There's also an element of danger. Another recommendation at the end of the conservatorship, keep knives away from Britney.
Multiple sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Britney has had a fascination with knives, at one point sleeping with one under her bed. We're told she's in mortal fear someone will come in the middle of the night, strap her to a gurney, and take her to a psych ward. As one source put it, she lives in constant fear of being reinstitutionalized.
TMZ investigates Britney Spears, the price of freedom.
If you can just keep an eye on him, just try to. Obviously, he's here with us. Don't let him get any weapons or anything like that. If anything changes, if he does become physically combative between now and when the police and/or paramedics get their calls back immediately at 911. Will do. Thank you so much.
Well, this episode took place at Harley Pasternak's house, and after Kanye sparked outrage last year by exposing Hollywood elites who keep celebrities under control, Harley threatened Kanye he would institutionalize him again and send him back to Zombieland.
Lost. Respite, assistance, and memory. Respite, assistance, memory. That's like a summary of. And they're definitely doing something with her memory. It's like they can't erase all of her memory because they need her to still say crazy things, but they need to try and get.
him back to Zombieland.
First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use cuss words. And everything that is discussed is based in fact, and that's some crazy stuff that dumb friend of yours told you, or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalize again, where they medicate the crap out of you, and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same.
He's gonna make it look like he's the savior. And then they're going to lock her up with us knowing about it, instead of right now, she's locked up and we don't know about it. Then they're gonna release her, let her ruin her credibility, and then he's gonna save her by giving her this great treatment in this very expensive, nice resort place. That's a prison. But it's a prison that the public would agree to her going to because, well, she's a mess. She went out to this event for the first time in a really long time and she did X, Y, and Z, but in reality, she is actually coming out of like a prison hole.
This is the way a Hollywood trainer was talking to me.
But that's not all. Kanye also recently revealed that he was wrongly diagnosed and prescribed lithium. Luckily, he refused to take it because he noticed that the dose they had prescribed him was much higher than normal.
They tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music though.
That's the only way. That's how I'm literally seeing it. I'm seeing a circle, her in the middle of the circle. There's all water around the circle. I don't know what, I don't know how. Whatever she knows has some connection to the Epstein case. Queen of Wands reversed, Ace of Swords reversed. Social butterfly, can't let you be that. We can't let you talk. We have different ways of silencing people, and one of them is to ruin your credibility so that you're never believed until we can get rid of you another way, permanently.
Epstein and Britney Spears, and I know that. Well, turns out that I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist, and this week we found a second connection. Well, turns out that I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist, and this. But what are you between Jeffrey Epstein and Britney Spears? And I know that. Well, turns out that I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist, and this week we found a second connection between the trafficking ring involved with Epstein and the ring of individuals involved in what's going on with Britney. So amongst those rings of individual demons is Daphne Barrick. There she is, super cozy with K-Fed, who, can we just say, he does not look healthy. Like, okay, so anyways, Daphne Barrick, she was the woman that was in charge of getting K-Fed's documentary made, but let's go into her ties to Epstein. So 60 Minutes Australia just dropped this interview where Daphne interviews Ghislaine Maxwell. And let me just tell you, people are saying that they've been friends for decades, and you can really see that in the interview. The interview is so soft. It's a complete fluff piece. It's made to make Ghislaine like, oh, but why did you do it? Why'd you do it, babe? And she's like, I just wish I never met Epstein. And like, oh no, I made a mistake. You made a mistake by organizing child trafficking. That was kind of like that was the vibe of the video. It was really disgusting. So you can tell that she is in no way a woman that's for women. You know what I'm saying? Sick bitch. Oh, sorry, I just get like Tourette's when it comes to predators. Oh, but also, I don't think that this video is on YouTube, so you'll really have to go to Twitter to watch it. But go to Twitter and watch it. And it turns out that she comes from like a really nasty family with even more Epstein connections. So, turns out her cousin is Mr. Barak, if anybody can tell me how to say that first name, I'll love you forever. Anyways, so Mr. Barak used to be the Prime Minister of Israel. He was also one of Epstein's top clients. But not only that, because of course, even though he's the Prime Minister of Israel, we can tie it back to America. And who can we tie it to? Of course, another top-notch predator, Mr. Weinstein. So it turns out Daphne's cousin, the Prime Minister of Israel, is the person that recommended private security or private intelligence to Weinstein. That private intelligence institution was Black Cube. Weinstein hired both Kroll and Black Cube to blackmail and harass victims, editors, and writers that were looking to expose him. They were successful in this multiple times. And not only that, they, like, you know what? That's going to be where I'm going to pause right there because that's my next video. But so yeah, if people are wanting to call you crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist. But why are they all hanging out? Why do they all know each other? Why are there these major cases popping up every few years? And only when we look back and we look at the little minions that are right next to all these people, do we finally start to piece together connection after connection. You know, the willingness that these people are willing to torture people like Britney Spears knows no ends. This is Daphne with Britney's kids. Now you tell me, what is sicker than taunting a woman that had her kids ripped away from her than having some rando hang out with your ex and then take pictures with your kids sitting on a couch when that rando has connections to child trafficking rings? Was that not torture? Would you not be tortured seeing that?
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah.
Well, guess what? Britney was also placed on lithium during her conservatorship, and in a court hearing, she revealed that she was prescribed lithium just because she refused to do dance moves while preparing for her show in Las Vegas.
And it's yes and yes. Remember I said it's like she's in the center of an island. There's water all the way around the outside of the island, and it's like no matter what direction she has to run from one to the other, no matter. And then when I was saying that, that's when I got the thing about Epstein. So that would be confirmed. Oh, yes, that's confirming both. Power supply, work and ritual. Power supply, work, and ritual. Power supply, the ones who supply the power, the ones in charge. Work, because this is, you know, the Epstein thing would be their business. And then ritual. Okay. Ritual is like the dark and evil side of why these people are doing what they're doing. Not Britney, but the people that she knows something about.
When I said no to one dance move into rehearsals, it was as if I planted a huge bomb somewhere. And I said, no, I don't want to do it this way. After that, my management and my dancers and my assistant of the new people that were supposed to do the new show all went into a room, shut the door, and didn't come out for at least 45 minutes. Ma'am, I'm not here to be anyone's slave. I can say no to a dance move. 3 days later, after I said no to Vegas, my therapist sat me down in a room and said he had a million phone calls about how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was a false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to. You can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it longer than 5 months.
Britney also said that lithium completely messed her up and she was no longer able to hold a conversation. And all of this was personally approved by her dad, Jamie.
I couldn't even have a conversation with my mom or dad really about anything. I told them I was scared and my doctor had me on 6 different nurses with this new medication come to my home, stay with me, to monitor me on this new medication, which I never wanted to be on to begin with. There were 6 different nurses in my homes and they wouldn't let me get in my car to go anywhere for a month. Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad.
Mind you, when all of this was going on, Britney had already started dating Sam Asghari, which means that Sam saw what was happening to Britney and how lithium was slowly destroying her, and he did nothing. Fans are now saying there's no doubt that Sam Asghari is another Harley Pasternak type who was hired to control Britney and keep her medicated so she would never have the opportunity to expose everyone involved in her conservatorship.
So 2 rows of 4. What is the plan going forward for Britney? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 of Swords. Reversed 6 of Pentacles. Reversed Chariot and Page of Swords. 3 of Cups, 2 of Cups. Yeah. A major betrayal, one-sided. Chariot in reverse is forcing you and then taking away your power.
Britney Spears says she and her mom, Lynn, are mending their relationship. The pop star opens up to fans about reconciling with her mother in a new Instagram post, writing alongside a childhood photo. My sweet mama showed up at my doorstep yesterday after 3 years. It's been such a long time. With family, there's always things that need to be worked out, but time heals all wounds. Britney adds, and after being able to communicate what I've held in for an extremely long time, I feel so blessed we were able to try to make things right. I love you so much. She ends her message writing, I'm so blessed we can have coffee together after 14 years. Let's go shopping afterwards. It marks the first time that Lynn and Britney have seen each other since a judge ruled to end the Grammy winner's long-standing conservatorship in November of 2021. Following the end of the legal arrangement, Britney was vocal about tensions with her family on social media, even alleging in a since-deleted post that the conservatorship, though managed by Brit's dad, was actually Lynn Spears' idea. Claiming, I will never get those years back, she secretly ruined my life. While Lynn did not comment on those accusations, she did respond to a 2022 post from her daughter after the Gimme More singer wrote on Instagram, the real problem to me is that my family to this day honestly have no conscience whatsoever and really believe in their minds they have done nothing wrong at all.
I couldn't even smoke cigarettes. People on death row can smoke cigarettes.
Britney released and quickly made private a dramatic 22-minute audio clip on YouTube. The 40-year-old singer lashed out at her family.
And might even spit in their faces.
And shared new allegations about her 13-year conservatorship.
I was just like a robot. Honestly, I didn't give a anymore because I couldn't go where I wanted to go. I couldn't have the nannies that I wanted to have. I couldn't have cash.
Another surprise, Britney, who was placed on 2 brief psychiatric lockdowns in 2008, also claimed she was completely sober when she was first hospitalized.
I honestly, still to this day, don't know what really I did. I literally spoke in a British accent to a doctor to prescribe my medication, and 3 days later, there was a swap team in my home. 3 helicopters. There was no drugs in my system, no alcohol, nothing. It was pure abuse.
Britney's family has denied abuse, maintaining their only concern is Britney's well-being.
Britney's a sweetheart.
3 hours after Brit's audio post, her mom, Lynn, fired back, writing, your rejections to the countless times I have flown out and calls make me feel hopeless. I have tried everything. She went on to suggest that she and Brit discuss all this in private.
I do not believe Britney is free, one fan said. Not for a second do I believe that they would let her choose her most intimate relationship when they made sure everyone close and good to her stayed away. They made many threats to those that tried to help her. Even this new lawyer, the rabbit hole is very deep. And another fan wrote, what I always found sketchy about Sam is that he's been with her for years but didn't make any attempts to get her out of that conservatorship. What boyfriend would see his girlfriend being held hostage and treated like a slave and do nothing? He was even close with Jamie, like, what the F? He's the person holding Britney hostage. But how do you feel?
It's beyond just her own, like, it's not something that just affects her. She knows something bigger. Treason. Well. boat and collapse. Treason, boat, collapse. Treason, boat, collapse. Oh. I don't know if I should say that. Three of Swords and the Moon. She knows something about the elites with people moving. And whatever it is, it could make the whole thing collapse. That makes sense, the Queen of Pentacles. The interconnect, if you follow my Idaho readings, that would be an interconnect, because that's representing a woman who's in charge of an operation very similar in the Idaho case, in terms of people moving. And also the interconnect to my other reading that I did on the world events the other day, because I said that because of these things going on, the waters are now open and things are being moved around more clearly. Yeah, those would be man-made disaster in reverse and wooded area. Man-made disaster in reverse. They're trying to get her to be so, it's like, this is like if you lock someone in a dark, dingy room for months at a time, give them barely enough to survive, give them nothing so that they just like go crazy. Essentially like jail, but like in jail, you did something, or you know why you're there. It's like she didn't do anything to deserve this. All she did was find out something she wasn't supposed to know, which I know there's innocent people in jail too, but so this is like if you lock someone in some kind of room for an extended period of time so that their mental health just diminishes, right? And then you bring them to an event, like a fancy 5-star event, and watch them just completely bomb it, fall on their face, embarrass themselves, ruin their own credibility, and then you come on and you make some kind of statement like, okay, well, she was out for the first time in a very long time in public, and we see what happened. So we told you guys that she needs to be in a mental care facility. So she's going to be gone for a little bit while we work on that. I think that's the plan here. Because to kill her off would just be, at this point, way too suspicious. But her credibility has to be ruined because there's something big that she uncovered. And then it was like, okay, well, she knows this. We still can use her for XYZ, or need to keep her in this position for this reason.
I think I just found a link between Jeffrey Epstein and Britney Spears, and I know that that's going to sound crazy, but please hear me out. Now, I first heard of Kroll because I thought that they were going to be the business institution to investigate TriStar, and ooh, Matthew Rosengart, Britney's lawyer, hired them. This is a screenshot from the Body Declaration. Now, Shirini Body is a member, she's a Kroll agent, ex-FBI agent. She says that essentially that they were hired in connection to the petition to remove James P. Spears from the conservatorship. Here's just a little description of who and what they are. It says, Kroll's forensic investigation and intelligence practice specializes in conducting complex financial investigations, forensic audits, due diligence, and business intelligence services. Kroll's clients include governments, corporations, financial institutions, law firms, and high net worth individuals. So essentially, they are an intelligence firm that if you can afford, you can hire. But what does it have to do with Jeffrey Epstein? Well, let's ask Russell Brand. So he dropped this podcast today. Boom, Whitney Webb has been expertly and diligently documenting the failure to investigate Jeffrey Epstein and his network. In speaking about one of these incidences, they accidentally reveal a huge connection between the Epstein network and the network of Team Con. The incident of interest that Whitney mentions is this one right here. This was a federal judge that was set to investigate Jeffrey Epstein. One day this judge wakes up, walks out where a delivery service person shoots him and then shoots and murder the judge's son right in front of him. Now I want to repeat that. The judge set to investigate Jeffrey Epstein was shot and had his son gunned down right in front of him. The murderer is this guy right here. Now, when you look him up on Google, Roy Den Hollander, all you'll see is that he was an angry lawyer, and he was anti-feminist, and he was a meanie. Now, what's more important is looking at his resume, which if you look right above my head, what do you see? Kroll Associates. He worked for Kroll Associates, the international intelligence agency, between 1999 and 2000 in Moscow, Russia. If it didn't get any creepier, it had to involve Russia. It says he managed and upgraded Kroll's delivery of intelligence and security in the former Soviet Union. Although I initially understood them as the entity that was set to investigate TriStar, I'm now finding allegations that they're doing the opposite and actively destroying evidence that they find that would not only point to the conspiracy behind the labor trafficking of Britney Spears, but on top of it point to their hand in the illegal surveillance of Britney during her conservatorship.
Paris, I don't want to be late to this premiere. We gotta go.
You should always run fashionably late. It's your night.
You're so absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
How do I look? Am I all prim and ready to go?
Step it up. Looking very sharp, Mr. Cruz.
I think we're really gonna wow the world.
You think people are really gonna believe that we're a couple?
I think most people will believe anything.
Story of my life.
All right, now we're gonna skydive into this thing. You ready?
I do my own stunts.
Big words. In 2020, I was going to expose everything. In a matter of days, the Hollywood elite tried to ruin my entire career, villainized me, and flooded the news with lies and to discredit me. If you guys only knew the truth about what they are doing to Britney and Kanye, anyone who challenged the system gets eliminated. What in the Hunger Games and Squid Games is going on here?
Okay, great news is, okay, so last week, guys, I made a dress. It's really proud, diamond panel, slip in the back, a girlfriend helped me sew it. They sent me a dress I didn't have to make myself. I can't believe it. I'm just saying. Okay, now I'm so proud.
And now that I'm here, I think this is a perfect place for me to clear up some crazy rumors I keep hearing about myself. Like that I can't perform without lip syncing. Okay, which is not true. See, when I appeared on the Grammy Awards and sang...
Hi guys, what's up? I'm on the Ellen show today and I'm getting a little cuckoo. That's why I'm standing on this table. I have no idea why. Anyways, I'm excited. So, here.
Between Jeffrey Epstein and Britney Spears, and I know that... Well, turns out that I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist, and this week we found a second connection between the trafficking ring involved with Epstein and the ring of individuals involved in what's going on with Britney. So amongst those rings of individual demons is Daphne Barrick. There she is, super cozy with K-Fed, who, can we just say, he does not look healthy. Like, okay, so anyways, Daphne Barrick, she was the woman that was in charge of getting K-Fed's documentary made, but let's go into her ties to Epstein. So 60 Minutes Australia just dropped this interview where Daphne interviews Ghislaine Maxwell. And let me just tell you, people are saying that they've been friends for decades, and you can really see that in the interview. The interview is so soft. It's a complete fluff piece. It's made to make Ghislaine like, oh, but why did you do it? Why'd you do it, babe? And she's like, I just wish I never met Epstein. And like, oh no, I made a mistake. You made a mistake by organizing child trafficking. That was kind of like that was the vibe of the video. It was really disgusting. So you can tell that she is in no way a woman that's for women. You know what I'm saying? Sick bitch. Oh, sorry, I just get like Tourette's when it comes to predators. Oh, but also, I don't think that this video is on YouTube, so you'll really have to go to Twitter to watch it. But go to Twitter and watch it. And it turns out that she comes from like a really nasty family with even more Epstein connections. So, turns out her cousin is Mr. Barrick. Anyways, so Mr. Barak used to be the Prime Minister of Israel. He was also one of Epstein's top clients. But not only that, because of course, even though he's the Prime Minister of Israel, we can tie it back to America. And who can we tie it to? Of course, another top-notch predator, Mr. Weinstein. So it turns out Daphne's cousin, the Prime Minister of Israel, is the person that recommended private security or private intelligence to Weinstein. That private intelligence institution was Black Cube. Weinstein hired both Kroll and Black Cube to blackmail and harass victims, editors, and writers that were looking to expose him. They were successful in this multiple times. And not only that, they, like, you know what? That's going to be where I'm going to pause right there because that's my next video. But so yeah, if people are wanting to call you crazy, you're a conspiracy.
I'm gonna make content. We're running late to dinner. Come on, let's go. This is what I have to deal with.
Disgusting.
The last thing I want to do is speak on my wife's behalf. I would never do that. I respect her privacy. That's why I don't talk as much. And I found it absolutely disgusting for the people that were in her life at the time when she didn't have a voice. They went and told her story like it was theirs. It was absolutely disgusting.
And the winner is Britney Spears! Britney Spears, baby!
Thank you so much for doing this for me. Thank you. You know, it's just really an honor being voted by all of my peers, so this really means a lot. And I love you all. Thank you so much.
I don't understand how it's so easy for them just to cut me off like that.
More heartbreaking online confessions from Britney Spears, devastated by the fact her sons have not seen or spoken to her in 6 months.
Since they've been gone, I've honestly felt like a huge part of me has died.
Tormented. Success has cursed the pop princess as much as it's rewarded her. In 2008, the pressure of fame became too much. Britney unraveled so spectacularly, she was placed under the control of what's called a conservatorship. It meant she wasn't allowed to make any decisions for herself. Last November, 13 years on, the strict legal order was overturned. But now, as she tries to reclaim her life, she faces more scrutiny. Tonight, in a controversial interview, Britney's ex-husband, Kevin Federline, the father of her 2 sons, has agreed to talk after years of silence.
But all it is one giant betrayal. Everybody that knows her is stabbing her in the back because they're getting something out. Please remember, this is an energy reading and is all alleged. My opinion, not facts, my opinion.